Greenlander Niels Gundel has spent his whole life on the shores of the Disco Bay. Like his father, he makes a living from traditional means, travelling by dog sled to hunt and fish. And like his 5,000 fellow inhabitants of this western town, Gundel is finding it more and more difficult to make ends meet.
The ice does not get very thick anymore. You can't sail, but you can't go out with a dog sled either. Before we could go out on the north side of the bay, but we can't do that anymore, because the water is now a little bit warmer and the currents a little bit stronger, so we can't use the ice in the same way that we used to.
The harsh climate makes farming impossible, and over the course of Greenland's 5,000-year-old existence, dwellers here have relied on the ice for trade and to feed themselves. Gundel, now 50 years old, has had to start using his sleds to take tourists on tours. But even with the extra income the tourists bring, the climate is still against him. The winter season has got shorter by about 3 months. As a result, the ice is increasingly thinning, so that soon the only hunting option will be fishing by boat. For Jens Reimer, also following in the footsteps of his father, halibut fishing by boat or with his 12 dogs is still a way of life. But as his fish are bought by the kilo, life is also getting tougher.
Since I started off as a fisherman 20 years ago, 2 major things have changed that have really affected my line of work. The size of the halibuts have become much smaller, and there's a drastic change in the weather.
Icebergs are a vital part of the marine ecosystem, as they create a favourable environment for sea life. Theatre director Simon Lovstrom has invested a lot of time researching Inuit culture. He's from Upernavik, a small town north of Disco Bay, and grew up in a community that hunted seal, walrus and whale.
There were big icebergs, really colossal icebergs that drifted past us here. Now they have become really small, but people who come here nowadays say the icebergs look really big, but in fact they used to be 10, 20 times bigger coming out of the ice fjord.
As the old ways of life become harder to live by, unemployment is rising. There are no statistics to prove a link, but Greenland has one of the world's highest suicide rates. There may be a glimmer of hope for the island. Scientists say that melting ice could uncover large resources of oil, gold and diamonds. For the dog owners and fishermen, that's no substitute for the loss of their traditional lifestyle. Tanya Wood, Reuters.